day, Ruskin enjoyers. Happy to know, it's time for Profit Review. Now, last week we discussed the March 19, 2026 Rustor, and that means today, of course, we're here for March 26. So sit back, relax, and start yapping. So, what was my initial reaction? Oh, look at that! Naval Camo Tier 3's just appeared. Lovely. So, right now, we're currently going through the final March Rustor for 2026. And we have endured the Easter dip, and it wasn't looking very pretty. Now, a very notable thing with the arrival of this is the fact that we had seen a lot of listings for Naval Camo Tier 2. Tier 2, of course, appeared at the very beginning of the month. Tier 3 appears at the very end. And I was a bit concerned in regards to, well, we're going to see a very similar pattern of behaviour with the Tier 3. I mean, we'll keep an eye on the sales and whatnot, but it was noticeable that with the Tier 2 coming out during March, it wasn't looking very good. So, all right, we'll talk more about that in a bit. Another space theme skin has been accepted. It's another armor double door, and it also happens to have transparency. Well, so, okay, cool. I literally did a comparison. And funny enough, with this particular design, if you kind of like stand a bit of a distance away, the transparency it has in the hatches here, it kind of goes invisible. Now, I'm not sure if it's, to this day, an exploit and whatnot. No one's really made a fuss about it other than me when I did my short video. But, yeah, another transparent, glow-in-the-dark armor double door has appeared. Literally a week after the previous one. So, yeah, that protector armor double door didn't have a fun time. But that was looking good. Yes. And, of course, it was also a space theme skin. So, all right, then, it's looking pretty good. Another Cenotop garage door? Really? I mean, is this actually going to work out quite all right? At this specific time, if I can recall, this was actually kind of like evens. I can't remember if it was slightly in the positive or slightly below, but it wasn't doing that bad. But all the storages, well, that's of course a different story. But anyway, okay then. I mean, is that a new garage door collection to look forward to? Yeah. Another SKS is accepted. At least it's not a white one. It's tempered. Okay, cool. But tempered weapons, are they reliable? Do they usually work out all right? A $3.49 bed? Now, with all due respect, it looks cool. All the barbed wire and everything, I mean, it looks cool. Like, something completely different to what we saw with the Apotheosis of War armored double door. Okay. That's a cool looking skin. But $3.49, how many people are going to justify that purchase? So, okay, interesting, but wow. God. Anyway, Chrome Wave double barrel shotgun, a perfectly fine looking design, but double barrel shotguns, unfortunately, rarely do they retain their value. So I was kind of had doubts. Oh, another raw tine skin. Wow, I mean, is that like 3 or 4 in a row? No, it's 3 in a row. 3 in a row. So, okay, cool. A fully transparent fridge. Is that going to be as useful in comparison to a fully transparent locker? And of course, if you remember, we talked about how this can be utilized on boats. You can use it like a barricade. So, all right, cool. But, I mean, is that going to be all right? Twisted Metal Barbecue. I mean, Twisted Metal collections, like, yeah. So, I remember quite literally looking at it and going, yeah, I got nothing against it. The teeth for the lid and whatnot look cool. It's just, yeah, it's just a metallic design. And let me just point this out. We did just have raw tine. So, I mean, if you wanted a metallic design, wouldn't you want the one with the transparency, which then makes patterns on the wall behind it when it's lit up at night time? Either way, all right, cool. Maybe it might not sell that much. Maybe it might potentially work out nicely. And then we have the Chaos MP5. Hey, it's a perfectly fine looking MP5, but if I can recall, it was pretty standard and it had a standard sight. Yeah, so unfortunately, not really expecting much with it. So, okay, cool. That was the quick rundown. But with every single Rustor that we have, we're always considering what potentially could be the best investments for the week. So if I switch over to here, I quite literally have me on display as I'm sitting there and yapping. Look at him, yap. What a fool. But anyway, I do believe I'm sitting here after the first 24 hours of sales. And I'm looking at these skins. And, wow, okay. So the Tier 3 clearly is going to be the lowest selling of the batch. In comparison to 20 pence, in comparison to Tier 2, this looks as if it's going to sell the least. Interesting. Very interesting. Now, of course, you might sit there and say, isn't Naval Camo technically a complete collection? Technically speaking, yes, it's now a complete collection. But we could still get boots and gloves. There could still be some other extra pieces. You never know. Maybe like a backpack, a jacket, tactical gloves, maybe even some primitive skins, some deplorables, some weapons, you know. But there's still more clothing and armor that could still appear. So that right there, if it's going to be the lowest selling compared to the other core pieces, I think that's in a very good spot. That was the main thing I was curious about. That I was interested in. Space Station Armored Double Door, like, again, I know we've just seen a lot of Armored Double Doors, but space-themed skins are in demand. People want them. And even then, I was noticing, like, I know we've just seen a lot of prices drop off real bad, but the space skins were starting to improve. Funnily enough, I was starting to notice prices not really going down anymore. And it was the space-themed skins that was one of the first ones that I noticed. So, with all due respect, that Armored Double Door with its transparency and glow, it was looking pretty good. Looking at all the other skins, I thought about it, I questioned it, and I thought, you know what? I have to talk about the Apotheosis of War bed. Like, it really wasn't selling that much. It really, really wasn't. Only 4,000 subscribers right there. Okay, yeah, clearly the price has had an impact. But with a sheer lack of sales, I don't think the skin creator is stopping. Like, in the past, he had made a rug, he had made a garage door. What's stopping them from just resubmitting? So I'm looking at this bed and I'm thinking, you know what, maybe that actually might work out, you know, surely it might work out right. Like, in comparison to all the other beds I've seen so far, nothing really compares to it. And yeah, it by default is one of the most expensive ones, but all we need is another sequel, all we need is another collection continuation, and so, those are my thoughts there. Everything else, though, wasn't feeling as confident. But of course, let's actually go ahead and showcase to you the actual first 24 hours of sales. So, boom. And yeah, it's basically the same with what we just saw there. So, quite literally, I was looking at the skins 24 hours in. Well, it doesn't look like anything here is selling absurdly. That's totally fine for us, the skin investors, the Rust skin enjoyers, because of course, if they don't really sell that much, and if they do happen to gain a lot of interest, if suddenly a lot of people want them, all the better for them to rise up in price ever so nicely in the future. So, tame sales, not that bad, right? So, yeah, even though the Space Station Armored Double Door was looking to sell more than the Protector from the previous week, still even then, it's got the extra space theme attached to it. So it was looking pretty good. So, cool. Well, of course, with every batch of skins, we get to the point where it's the night before, and we proceed to do the abnormal barders. And so, let's now switch over to here. This is Night of the Abnormals, and I'm looking at that tier 3, and I'm noticing, wow, okay, so we're only around 15,500 subscribers. At this specific point, the tier 3 has sold 10,000 less subscribers compared to the hoodie and pants. Okay. Well then, that's quite a difference, isn't it? But the Space Station Armored Double Door, that really picked up the pace. That ended up becoming the second best-selling skin. That right there, that was also looking to still be, like, in demand. Still looking to potentially be a nice investment. But wow, God, you really did pick up the pace. So, alright, cool. Let's now go through all the skins, you know, talk about the sales they had and the prices we suggested. So, Naval Camo Tier 3. Both the face mask and the chest plate. Around 15,500 subscribers. Priced at $2 a piece. I went with $1 to $1.50. Yes, even at this specific point, there's a lot of listings of the Tier 2 on the Steam market. And to this day, I still attribute that to the fact that it came out literally during the Easter dip. At this specific point in time, prices are improving, to my surprise. And with the Tier 3, like, distances away from the sales that we saw the two previous core pieces, that of course being Tier 2, hoodie and pants, I honestly thought that was in a very good spot. I wanted to go in strong. I offered $1 to $1.50 each. Now with the Space Station Armored Double Door, priced at $3, I had just bought some Armored Double Doors in the previous week. And I'm like, am I going to really do this again? At $3, we're still, like, we're just getting out of the Easter dip, and I'm just sitting here and I'm questioning things and everything, and I thought, okay, look, $3, 15,500 subscribers right there. I'm going to offer between $1.50 to $2. I probably would have gone up a little bit higher if it didn't sell that much more, but I could still respect that was a perfectly fine looking double door right there. So, okay, I was going on fairly strong. Cinetype Safe from Garage Door, 13,000 subscribers. Well, I've seen themed garage doors in the past, notably the neon garage doors. They did not work out very nicely. No. So I was looking at that, thinking about it, questioning it, and I thought to myself, you know what? Yeah, I'm probably just going to do 80 cents to $1.20. I got about halfway. I didn't fully trust it. And Cinetype Collection, I mean, all those storages, I just wasn't sure if people was ever going to look at that collection in a positive light ever again. So yeah, I didn't have the highest of hopes. Tempered SKS, $3 a piece. But we have, well, didn't we have like 5 or 6 SKS acceptances in a row? I was looking at that and I was thinking, tempered weapon skins in the past, they've actually kind of worked out all right to a point. Not all of them. I was a bit hesitant, wasn't fully sure. $3 a piece there. I thought, you know what? I'll offer between $1.20 to $1.70. I'm personally not expecting to see another tempered weapon skin being accepted anytime soon. Eventually, yeah, surely maybe some more, but at that specific point, if we're not going to see any sequels and whatnot for a while, so, okay, that's what I went with. Now, with the Apotheosis War bed, the night before Rust rotation, that only had around 8,600 subscribers. Huh, that really didn't sell that much, did it? No, it did not. And I am seeing a skin creator in the workshop talk about like potential collection continuations and whatnot. So, clearly it scared off a lot of people from jumping in and buying tons of it, which is a good thing in regards to like, well, we shouldn't be expecting tons of listings on the Steam market and on third-party sites. I was looking at it, I was thinking a lot, and I ended up deciding to offer between $2.20 to $2.70. I thought, you know what, maybe this recent rise in value of a lot of skins, maybe we could still have like a dip again. You never know, could happen. If that dips, oh boy, I mean, maybe that might really badly suffer. Maybe we never actually have another collection continuation. But it does look cool. Like, it's a really cool standout skin compared to all the other beds I've seen so far. So I went in fairly strong. For a $3.49 skin, going all the way up to $2.70 is pretty good. It was the lack of sales, though, that was really kind of pushing me to make a move. Then, of course, we have the the wrought iron fridge. Again, some of them are not abnormal. Wrought iron fridge, $2.49. Yeah, it's got transparency. I just wasn't feeling as confident compared to like the locker from the previous week. It looks nice, it's shiny, like all the other wrought iron skins, and I certainly was hoping for some more wrought iron acceptances. So what I'm seeing here, I'm like, you know what? $1 to $1.50. Yeah, that should be alright. Then we have the Twisted Metal Barbecue. The collection's not very in demand. It's another metallic design. It's pretty straightforward. Cool face. It's just there. I just went with 70 cents to $1 for that $2 skin. And then for the two skins that weren't abnormal, Chrome Wave Double Barrel Shotgun and Chaos MP5, people don't really care that much for Double Barrel Shotgun skins. And same can be said with the MP5. So 60 cents to 80 cents for the both of them. And so that, did Hedge actually proceed and buy any of the skins after we did the abnormal barders? So I contemplated it, you know, like, got $3 skins there and whatnot, and I mean, that was looking very, very appealing. I thought about what might happen next with the Naval Camo collection. I considered, as we get closer and closer to the summertime, with the inevitable summer peaks, that is usually around July and August time, I thought, okay, that's a pretty interesting looking collection. We don't really get that many blue collections, let alone a non-dark blue set. I don't think we've got any other set like that. I thought, okay, surely this is the year for Naval Camo. So I bought 50 each. 50 of the face mask, 50 of the chest plate. What about all the other skins? I looked at the Space Station Armor Double Door. I saw all the previous space theme skins, and I was like, you know what? I've got to make a move. Come on now. How could I not? How could I not? I know I just literally bought like the Protector and the Porcelain Armor Double Door from the previous week, 30 each previously. You know what? I'll buy 30 of those as well. I had to make a move. That was a cool looking skin. And as much as I thought about, questioned, and positively spoke about the Apotheosis of Warbed, $3.49 is a high price. I questioned it, I thought about it, and I thought, no, I think I'll just stick with my Bilder. Hey, I feel confident I'll be picking up some with that Bilder. Surely we're not going to have like a sudden surge in value of all skins and prices would rise up before we even have the summertime, right? So about that, yeah, that might have happened. Anyway, this is the outcomes. And basically, we have got a lot of success here, at least with the skins that did look quite appealing. So let's go through all these skins, talk about what happened, and still talk about their futures, because right now, we're still technically not in the summertime. Naval Camo Tier 3. Well, funnily enough, just a couple nights ago, these got bought out. But in terms of what we see here, I'm also sorry to say my extension isn't working. There's something that's happened recently. I can't show it in dollars, but I can kind of give you a rough estimate. In fact, I do believe this is up to date. Well, you know, Rust helps right there, Hedge. $4.60, $5.75. But let's also point out the Tier 2. So to this day, we've still got weird issues with the Tier 2. But again, that came out at the very beginning of March. This came out towards the very end. We only saw the Easter dip happen during March. That was it. April was fine. March, ooh, it was rough. Now, let me just quickly show the difference. So let's just see how many kilts are currently on the Steam market. There's 198. Let's go see how many face masks are on the market. There are, in total, 36. And then, of course, what I also do is I show like how many hoodies are on the Steam market as well. There are 58. Do you notice the issue? There's far too many kilts in the Steam market in comparison to like Tier 3 and, yeah, hoodie and pants. So, yeah, the Tier 2 is in a bit of a funny place. Not the Tier 3. That Tier 3 has worked out wonderfully. And to be honest with you, I am considering should I sell during the summertime, which, of course, would be a great time to consider selling. As I said, summer peaks usually happen between July and August time. That's when kids are like out of school, summer vacation in most of the world. They're playing a lot of Rust. So when lots of people are playing, higher prices, who'd have guessed, because there's more demand for skins. But what we also happened to see was the boots and gloves being accepted and a backpack. So, yeah, Tier 3 got some lovely boosts. And you know what? Let's go ahead and showcase that to you, because, of course, what we should have done is we should have showed, like, how this has been rising. And, yeah, it was all right for a while. And, whoop, okay, it kind of calms down. Whoop. So, yeah, this is starting to slowly go up even higher and higher and higher and higher now. This is looking good. All right. So, okay, cool. You know what? I am curious. If I turn the beta on, yeah, and then turn my extension on, maybe it'll work now. Let's see. No. Oh, dang. Right. Okay, then. Well, that's all good. We get the point. Tier 3 worked out wonderfully. Do I need to say any more? Well, I could ask you, did you buy any? I will confirm to you, during that initial period of time, during April, we didn't see any collection continuations, I did pick up a lot of the Tier 3 of my Bilder. Seems not everybody was super confident with it, but I was. I've reaped the profits, yes. But I will ask you, did you buy any straight from the Rust store? Did you pick up any of a Bilder? But to my surprise, turns out the greatest success was the Armor Double Door. Now, I'm not joking when I say, I mean, let me just quickly point out, yep, previously we had that garage door. We have got other space theme skins. I think the average person doesn't realise these all aren't the same collection, but they all line up perfectly with the space station building skin. So, I mean, we've even got like that locker. Let's go over to here. Yep, there you go. Yep, that's perfectly in the positive. Like, people have been buying out and appreciating space theme skins. And I was sitting there, just the end of March, the beginning of April, and I was noticing this. That definitely swayed me to think, you know what, go on then, I'll just buy 30 of them. Let's just see what happens. Well, I'm happy I did that, because it's basically tripled in price. Wow. Cool. I mean, I don't think there's much else to say. Yeah, It's in demand. People like it. People appreciate it. Should I have put down a bigger barda? Yeah. I mean, now that I know it did a lot better, sure, I'm definitely going to say that. But, I mean, yeah, people really like space theme skins. It's weird how we just don't see that much more of them anymore. We've seen a lot more, well, naval and pirate theme skins. But then again, we did have like the naval update later on after the space station skin. But, you know, still. Wow. So did you pick up any of these straight from the barders? Straight from the rust store? Or did you pick up any with a barder? Feel free to comment below because, wow. Okay, cool. You worked out lovely. Too much surprise. Cenotype safe room actually looks as if it's worked out quite alright. Now, with all due respect, did you sell that much? 14,000 subscribers. We have had a lot of garage doors as well. But how come that went down, but this went up? I don't know. That is a bit weird to me. Maybe people just happen to like the appearance of it. The gigantic lock and whatnot. Maybe. It's a cool looking neon style. But, yeah, funny enough, the garage doors are performing quite a fair bit better compared to all the storages. But it wouldn't be too surprising in regards to what happens to those storages. Anyway, so, okay, it actually looks like it's trending upwards. Seems it's got fans. All right then, cool. I was wrong. I looked at that. I didn't trust it. Didn't even want to look at it. I went only halfway. Evidently, well, I was wrong. So, sorry about that. You can moan at me, but you can laugh at me as well. Did you buy any of those skins? Did you pick up any of the barda? Are you considering selling? I mean, you could make profit. I don't imagine it would be a lot of profit. You might be better off waiting until July and August. We'll see what happens there. But yes, I was wrong in that regard. Foolish me. Then we had the tempered SKS. And, wow, apparently went down to $1.90. Yep, it's literally on the Steam market right now at $1.90. But I can confirm to you that barda right there, that's me. That's me. So I haven't picked up any of the barda. I didn't pick up any straight from the rust store. I think I've just about perfectly slotted myself in. Does it go any lower? Not sure. But yeah, tempered collection. It is old, it is vast, but not everything worked out perfectly fine. Some things did. Not everything, though. So it was a bit of a coin flip, a 50-50. I just went with a lower price build, and, well, you know what? I'm not fully upset with that. So, okay. So, yeah, I played it somewhat safe, and I think I got that just about correct. But I haven't picked up any either, so. Did I win? I'm not sure. Well, I didn't get dumped on, so that's a win. That's a win. But I didn't jump in on the bed. I should have jumped on the bed. Anyway, so yeah, that worked out wonderfully. The Apotheosis of War bed was a spectacle to the eye. We did see the garage door being resubmitted. We did see the garage door being accepted. Look at that positivity. The armoured double door could be better, but hey, maybe we need to see another acceptance, of which the skin creator is providing options. So that bed, at one point that was reaching up to about $5.50 if I can recall. It was doing all right before we saw the garage door. It was still below its rust door price slightly. But then the garage door appears and, well, look at the spike in demand. And, yep, and since then it's been basically retaining that value. So, yeah, these past 2 months, it was trending downwards. It was calming down, and then, so, initially, I did actually pick up quite a lot of my barders. I did, but based on what we're looking at now, it seems to be comfortably around $4.50. Hey, maybe that rises up a little bit more. Maybe we actually see some collection continuations. I'm all for it. But I didn't buy any straight from the rust store. But I did pick up some with a barda. So I don't consider that like a total loss. Maybe around later this year, October time, autumn, fall season of dip, I'll pick up a lot more. And maybe I'll flip them around post-Christmas 2027. We'll see what becomes of that. So, did you buy one yourself? Did you buy 10, 20, 30? Brag. Comment below, brag, all right? I didn't chase after it. I kind of have regrets, but then again, with the price it was a bit questionable. Trainwave double barrel shotgun. I took one quick look at all the double barrel shotguns of the past. I thought, yeah, that might just be a 60 cent to 80 cent barda. It was the 60 cent to 80 cent barda, is correct, yeah. So, yeah. It's just basically been around less than $1 ever since it came out. Sorry to say, but, yep, expectations met. Wrought iron fridge, I questioned you, I thought about you. Now, this year so far, we've only seen 2 fridges. Considering we do have quite a lot of them now as of recent, I don't know what they have to do to stand out. I don't know what they have to do to look like very, very appealing. This does have a collection, and we did see a large box being accepted after a while, I should say. But yeah, it seems to have lost its momentum. I have seen some very nice looking skins right here, but you know, it's not retaining. Only down by 20% though. That's not that bad. And to be honest, if you're looking at here, that's just one straggler. You remove that, that's back up to like $2.30, $2.40. You know what? It doesn't actually look that bad. You know what? That actually really doesn't look that bad. It's just been stagnant. So honestly, my barter suggestion, $1 to $1.50, yeah, it was alright. I've only picked up a few of these though. Maybe I could have offered more. But then again, have we really seen the worst of it? Chances are, probably, because we're only getting closer and closer to the summertime now, so there you go. But yeah, it seems to be a bit stagnant at the moment, Raw Time Collection. Twisted Metal Barbecue, didn't really expect that much. Didn't sell that much. Didn't think the collection was very in demand. Well, my barter suggestion, maybe I should offer a little bit more. I only said 70 cents to $1. This has barters going up to like $1.10, just about $1.20. Yeah, it's basically been sitting here around $1.50 for a while now. So, yeah, I mean, you haven't crashed and burned, but you haven't exactly like flourished. So with what I'm looking at here, I was right to kind of avoid going in strong, for example. But, I mean, Hedge could have offered a little bit more. So I was off that. I was off. And then the Chaos MP5, yeah, you went down to $1. Yeah. Got nothing against the design of it and whatnot, but it was a standard approach, and the standard MP5 doesn't seem to work out very nicely. You've got to stand out. You've got to be colourful. You've got to have a pay-to-win aim sight and whatnot. It had neither, so, yeah. That's everything. That's the conclusion. And, well, yeah. There are some very interesting things that I was positive about. I saw potential, and evidently, yeah, they worked out very nicely. Yep. Now, of course, I was incorrect on the garage door. Sorry about that. Maybe you picked up a few yourself. Hey, congratulations if you're going to flip it for a profit. But when is the time to sell? Well, I've said it several times already. Ideally, you want to wait out until July. Look at the prices then see what happens. But Naval Camo keeps getting acceptances. People are buying it out as well. We keep seeing the occasional space theme skin being accepted, and all of them seem to get bought out because of that. And Apotheosis of War. Could we see a lot more? Certainly I'm hoping. It doesn't hurt to wait out a little bit longer. I guess it depends how much you happen to own. But I will repeat, as of recent, as we've gone through April, as we're going through May, we have noticed prices improving very, very nicely as of recent. So, maybe Easter dip wasn't all that bad. Or maybe we potentially still have a June dip. And that did happen last year. So, we'll see how things pan out. Let's just get a nice little preview for next week. Easter skins. Well, we have quite a talking point in regards to the Tier 2 armour here. But of course, we also happen to have like the first ever salvaged axe and whatnot. A strange looking garage door. Yeah, Easter themed skins. Which unfortunately, compared to all the other holidays, they don't get that much attention and they don't get that much love. So maybe it'll be a bit quicker next week. Oh yeah, hot cross bun. Yeah. All right, cool. So, yep. All right, cool. So there's your little preview. And that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Hope it was a nice little insight going back to the past just to see how things turned out. But wow, the profits. The sweet, delicious profits. So, catch you later. Say goodbye.